What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Trading Wars. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today is Wednesday. We had some great price action in SPY today. I'm going to be breaking you all the trades down that we took today, step by step. We had some fibs, some triggers. We had a very interesting day, to say the least. We actually had an outside day. So if you look at this on SPY, we broke the low and we broke the high, which is also going to set up for a nice swing trade. I want to focus a little bit on scalping today, and I'm going to break down those strategies for you. So if you're ready, my friends, let's step into the war zone. So first and foremost, who do we have in the building? Let's do some shout outs. We'll get right into it. So we have Gus, Jeff, Ramon, Kent, One Story a Day, Grumpy, Corey, Wiro, Andy, Alicia, Calamine, N7 Lead Farmer, Trading Wars Army in the building. All right. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's do this. All right, guys. So what we're going to do here is we're going to hit the replay. So what we need to do, as always, and I highly recommend you doing this, is drawing the previous day's high and the previous day's low on your chart, so you have a reference point. And this is always important. We could zoom in a little bit here, because you want to know where are we opening in relation to the low and the high, because that's going to determine our trading strategy. So as well as doing that, we want to go ahead and put in the trigger trades. So our long entry was 377.42, and this is going to come back a little bit later in the day, but let's go ahead and mark this up. So 377.42, make that in green. And our short plan was 372.89. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this down, coordinates, and I'm going to make this red. Okay. All right. So remember now, the red line is our line in the sand to short, and the green line is our line in the sand to go long. So this is how I like my chart to look when I am ready at the open. Okay. So hit me with the 5. Does that all make sense so far? So we really want to go ahead and draw the key points: high, low, trigger long, trigger short. And then we'll go ahead here and play the first candle. So the first candle, you can see that we open inside of the range. And because we open inside of the range, I am worried about chop. So generally when we open inside, what I tend to see is just a little bit of back and forth, like this, and then come back down and just faking out a lot of people. So I like to be extremely cautious when we are trading inside. Okay, so that means that I will not take an opening range breakout. Instead, I try to play the fibs and the triggers mainly. Okay, so here we go. So there's our first 5-minute bar. We can see it's clearly bullish. The next bar comes in right here. Okay, and from here we have a range. So we have our low and our high right there. So we'll go ahead here, take our Fibonacci, draw it from the low to the high like this. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take off all the levels. I'm just going to leave on the 618 and the 786 today because we use both. So I'm going to leave on both of them for you. And then we'll talk about the first trade we took today. Okay. All right. So the first trade we took today was a Fibonacci retracement. So there's our low, there's our high. And in this case, we had our Fibonacci in 2 candles. And the reason why is you could see the range of these candles were large. So you just need a good size range. Generally, it takes about 3 candles, but when you have big body candles like this at the open, they're also very powerful for the fibs. Okay, so the first thing we did today was we got long on the 618 and long on the 786. And if you were trading this in real time, you'd see that we kind of went sideways for a little bit. Let me go down to the 1 minute so we can see this. So we started to kind of consolidate a little bit, and it got a little bit close to being stopped out. So the stop loss is at the swing low. And then all of a sudden, guys, this big algo spike came in right there. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So right off the bat, we could see, look, if you look at the details of all of these wicks here, that there was an algo trying to defend the low of the day, right? So we had that push up, pull back in, all these wicks, and then we had that big pop. And on this pop, we're able to lock in some profits. So let me go ahead here to the live commentary. I'm just going to go ahead and show you. So this was the same thing I just drew. So 618 filled, 786 filled long. So just want to make sure I show you guys that we call this out in real time every single day. And now what I want to talk about is scalping. Okay. So, all right. So you're in your 618, you're in your 786. So ideally, we would love for this to just go to the moon, okay? But that's not always going to happen. So what can we do instead? Well, we can scalp, okay? We can scalp. So how do we scalp? How do we actually do that? So this is where a lot of people get confused why I have these other levels. So the 382, the 280, all of these levels, guys, these ones above are all targets. 214, this zone is targets, okay? This is the opposite of the 618 and the 786. All right. So that's why I have the other Fibonacci's there, because the other Fibonacci's are my target. So if you want to scalp, what you can do is you can come in with heavy size on the fibs and then take it for a quick pop right back up and get out. But I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to make much money doing that with options, because the options, especially with these gaps, the premiums are going to be high. But let's go ahead to futures. And actually, let me add the futures to this chart so we could see how much potential profit we can make with futures. Okay, so here's the price scale. All right, so let me just fast forward one more candle so we could see. So right around here, the 786 is 37.75. And then if we pop back up to the 280 or the 216, it's a roughly 10 points. So a little less, about 8 points. Okay. So 8 points on one contract. On one contract is what? 400 bucks. Okay. So let me ask you this. Can you make that type of gains with options? Hit me with the 1 if you think yes. Hit me with the 2 if you think no. And a lot of people ask me this all the time. And I always say, guys, futures, there's no decay. Options have a great time and place. Swing trading, 0 DTE, afternoon legs. But in the morning, when the premiums are high, you really want to rely on shares or futures to the best you can. Okay? Because you have these nice pops here. But if you're not using futures contracts, you're not going to make any money with options. Okay? Especially if you get a bad fill. If you get a bad fill, you're not going to make any money. You might even lose money. Okay? All right. So let me just get rid of that. 382 and 280 and 214. So that's why I have those other levels right there. So we had that really, really nice quick scalp pop up. And then we had a double inside bar pattern right here. So let me just get rid of everything. But once this double inside bar pattern came, I knew that we were slowing down. Okay. So we hit a lot of targets. And if we actually take the Fibonacci from the high to the low, we have the opposing leg. And I want to show you this opposing leg, guys, because this is very beautiful. So the opposing leg right here is when you see how we touched the 786 to the penny. So what was happening here? If I go low to high, okay, and I go the opposing. So we have this 786 right here and this 786 right here, okay? So this 786 retracement traded to the 786 extension perfectly. So there was a symmetry there. There was an algo that was playing mathematical formulas. Okay, hit me with a 10 if you see that. So we did 786 pullback to 786 opposing leg. So the opposing leg is that's one of the advanced Fibonacci that I teach a lot of members. It's the other side of the coin. There's always going to be a battle of two algorithms. There's never going to be one. If there was just one, the market would go one direction. There's always a battle of two. So we had the long that came in at the lows, and we had the short that came in near the highs. So we had 786 against 786. But both satisfied. The bulls took the 786 back up, made their money, and now the bears came in. And once I saw this 786 came in and this double inside bar, I saw that we were slowing down. So I immediately went back to the short trigger. Okay. So I immediately went back to the short trigger right here, 372.89. Now let's watch how this plays out. Okay, so I'm going to go to the live commentary right here. All right, so right here, our SPY trigger short, it triggered at 10 o'clock. So I said short trigger activated at 10:02. So I set the order and let it be there. That's automated trading. You can put the order in ahead of time. So I had that order waiting right here on the red line. And then you can see once the 786 on the bear came in, it flushed. Bam, guys, look at that. In one candle, it came in, broke our trigger line and hit the previous day's low, all in one candle. And once we got that, you can see, let's go flush it, looking for previous day's low, 372.35. I want to see a break. Then we have a gap to fill, lock in some partial, send the red. Yesterday low broken, cover please, stop loss at break even, and I'm out. So as soon as we broke that, I got to the low, I covered it quickly because we're already on a big winning streak for the, since last week and this week. We're up a lot of money, so I don't want to take unnecessary risk. So once we broke that, covered in here, and then you could see we eventually flushed right down even further. So I could have made a little bit more, but I wanted to be conservative. Okay. So hit me with a 6 if that makes sense. I just want to make sure you understand that, like, the bigger picture here, what I'm trying to show you, the battle of the Fibonacci. And I know a lot of people in the room took the opposing leg instead of the first leg, and that's fine. That's great. And you can play any legs. You can play any legs. That's why I just want to teach you guys the fibs, because it has good risk to reward. I don't care what leg you play. If you play enough of them and you play it right, you just need to win, 34% of your trades, 26% of your trades. That's all, because the risk to reward is so beautiful in these trades. Okay. And then after this, I was done. I was done for the day. I had 1-2 trades and green for the day, and I personally walked away. But we had some members that continued to trade, and I just want to continue and show the breakdown. So near the bottom here, guys, we had the Trading Wars Nirvana. Okay. So the Trading Wars Nirvana is the blue pattern. It's an inside outside bar. It's a very rare pattern. We've been seeing them lately, but you generally don't see them a lot. And the reason we're seeing them lately is because the market is full of traps. It's trapping bulls and bears. So right here off of this Nirvana, guys, we had this huge, beautiful push right back up there. So that was nice. So the afternoon leg today. So if we go high to low, we could see that the afternoon leg today, we came up against the 618. We put in this inside bar. So there was our short opportunity. Once we broke the short, we got about 1 bar, 2 bars maximum, and then we came right back up and stopped it out. All right. And then what I noticed after that was there was a bigger Fibonacci in place. So if I take the Fibonacci from the gap, so this is a gap fill Fibonacci that I love to use. You could see, guys, that we came exactly on the 618. So that's when I knew, all right, this gap fill Fibonacci is trading right now. So this afternoon leg will be nullified because this algo here on the bullish side is way stronger than the bear. All right. And then finally, the last play that we had today was we came all the way back. We hit our long trigger, we consolidated for a bit, and then we squeezed through it, breaking through the previous day's highs and hitting targets. So really not a bad day at all. The Nirvana, really, really nice trade. Pretty good trades today. I would say is completely reasonable and continuing the winning streak. All right, so hit me with a 7 if that makes sense. All right, so for the indicators, here's the free version. I'm going to go ahead and send that to you guys in the chat. And, I had a lot of people email me and DM me about the sale. And so you guys know that we were doing the 2-month free sale for the 1-year anniversary. And a lot of people told me that, they don't have the funds right now. And some people are not getting paid till Friday. So you know what? I decided, guys, that I'm going to extend the sale to the end of this week. Okay. I'm going to extend the sale to the end of this week for anybody that missed it. So you can buy any one of my 3 books, and instead of getting 1 month free, you will get 2 months free, 60 days for free. So the Nirvana indicator, it only comes with the purchase of the book. Okay. Because when I launched the book, I launched this indicator with the book. So if you want the Nirvana, which is in the blue, you have to grab the copy of the book. Okay. And it's in the Discord. So I'm continuing that sale to the end of the week for anybody that's interested. All right. You get the upgraded indicators, you get the book, everything that I just talked about there, guys. You have it ready to rock and roll. All right. So what I want to do now is I want to go ahead and I want to look at MU. Okay. I want to talk to you a little bit about swing trading, just in general in this market and ways to deal with that. All right. So first of all, let me just pop open the YouTube. Pop in the YouTube right here. 1 second, my friends. All right. So I'm going to go to my posts. All right. So our MU post, we posted MU on Sunday. So I want to explain this idea to you guys, and I want to show you the concepts of the fibs and the inside bars. Okay. So on Sunday, I said, hey, Trading Wars Army, swing idea this week. MU inside bar on the weekly, long above 51.77 and short below 49.01. All right. So I just want to take some time and I want to draw this up with you guys. And I just want to just show you guys a strategy that I like to use, okay? Because I know some of you like to swing trade options, and this is my go-to strategy, okay? So I'm gonna go back here. So 51.77. So obviously we broke to the upside this week. We never broke to the downside. 51.77. And I'm sorry if this video is going a little bit long, but I just really wanted to I really want to show you guys this, okay? Because I think some of you will benefit. So inside bar, MU, this is the weekly chart. So why do I like trading inside bars? Well, let's just go back and look at the one on the 18th of October. So all I do with these strategies here is I use previous history. So you can see these inside bars on MU, you know, back last year, I was trading these a lot. And you can see that generally with these inside bars, MU is a stock that likes to move. And when we have these tiny little inside bars, generally we have some big moves. So that's why in the Trading Wars Army, I posted this swing idea. Okay. And let's go ahead and let's look at this trade. So I'm going to go down to the hourly chart now. Okay. So remember, our level is 51.77. So I'm going to hit the forward button here. Boom. So we break through right on Monday. Okay. So right on Monday, we break through 9:30. We break through our level. Fast forward. Boom. There we go. So we even had this little retest here. So if you missed the first entry, you had the second, which was a retest. And guys, look how beautiful this is, because this retest was on a Fibonacci right there, guys. Look at that. Right on the 618. Really, really beautiful. So we had that break, retest, and then we're continuing higher. So those calls are up a lot. And I just wanted to say, you know, I really want to grow the YouTube, because I feel like if I grow the YouTube, I'll be able to reach a larger audience. Okay. So that's why I started adding these swing trades to the YouTube channel. You can join right here, guys. Right now, YouTube is doing a 20% off your first month of membership. It's literally only $3.99. Okay. So I'm going to send that to you if you guys are interested. I post at least one swing trade per week. We've been on a really good winning streak. So this week we hit MU. The week before that, we hit Apple. And then the week before that, we hit SPY puts. There's been 3 weeks, 3 in a row. So consider joining if you guys are interested. But that's my little swing trade strategy using inside bars, just using triggers for the breakouts. All right. Another thing I wanted to bring to your attention is if you look at the daily chart of SPY right now, there was this long wick on Tradingview. And this wick is actually a glitch because we never filled that gap. So if we go over here to Trendspider, you'll see that we still have that gap. And today we actually created an outside bar. So this is SPY on Trendspider. So you can see generally with these outside bars, we've had big rallies and big sell-offs. So I've already put in a swing trade for tomorrow right here under the swing trade channel. We're going to be looking to play that outside bar on SPY going into the rest of the week. So don't get confused. If you look at Tradingview, you're going to see that this wick, right, is there, but this wick doesn't exist, because if you go down to the 5-minute chart, you could see that there's a gap here. Okay, so that's a glitch. All right. There's no really hot picks that I've scanned for tomorrow, but I'll post some on Twitter right after this. Okay, guys. So if you want my layout and my setup with Trendspider, just let them know you want to join the Trading Wars affiliate, and they'll hook you up, or use code TWZ30 at checkout. I'm going to hook up with Trendspider soon to do another video. All right. So there we go. There we go, guys. All right. So did that make sense about the swing strategy? Hit me with a 10. Look at this brother right here. I'm up 218% on the MU call. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Thank you. Thank you, Kalmin. Thank you for sharing that. Shin, welcome to the Trading Wars Army, brother. Thank you for being here. All right, let's welcome Shin in with the TW Army SPY VIP. There's one more thing that I want to talk about, and then we'll wrap this up. So I'm just going to go here to the YouTube. So we did this video 2 days ago. I'm going to find it. 1 second. There's a spread. So we did this video, how I enter Fibonacci in automated option trades with interactive brokers. And I want to say this, guys. I reached out to interactive brokers and they were extremely impressed with our community. And all of these comments in here, guys, they were so impressed and they really liked the video. So I'm planning to do some huge things with interactive brokers. I want to bring some people from their team to talk about all the little tricks and features they have with the platform that I don't even know about. All right. So I want to thank you for commenting and thank you for supporting, and just know that there's bigger things coming in the future. Okay. And I very much appreciate you guys for that. So as always, guys, thank you. Trading Wars Army is the place to be. Like I said, I'm extending the book sale. You get 2 months for free, 60 days with the book purchase until the end of the week. All right. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow. Please leave a comment, like, and subscribe. And thank you again. All right, guys, let's go ahead and kill it again tomorrow. All right, take care.